All right, you guys, welcome to our On Fire Empire What is Coaching webinar. We are so excited to have you guys here, whether you have recently joined our team and are excited to hear more, maybe you want to learn more, you're thinking about taking that leap, or maybe you've been with us for a while and you're wanting to hear what opportunity is literally sitting in your lap. We're so excited to have you here. We want to start it off just introducing ourselves and talking to you guys about why we are here and why we chose the company that we're partnered with, why our team is the team that you guys want to be on. And so, Logan, do you want to start off with sharing a little bit about you?
Sure. Sorry, I was pulling something up in the background. Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Logan Underwood. I have been a coach since September of 2015, which feels like a long time ago now. It was back in the days when they sold DVDs. But I actually joined Beachbody about a month prior in August because I came to Beachbody looking for a fitness solution. I found myself, so in 2015, just to give you a little perspective on where I was at in life, my high school sweetheart and I had been married for a few years. He's a potato farmer. At the time, I was working as a labor and delivery nurse. I am now retired and coaching full time. We had two kiddos then in 2015. Lucy was 2 and Luke was 9 months. And I had like the picture perfect life of exactly like on paper, exactly how everything was supposed to be. I was married, very happily married to my high school sweetheart. He was farming, which he loved. I had my like dream job as a labor and delivery nurse. We had 2 beautiful babies. We had a gorgeous house. We had dogs. Everything on paper was perfect. And I was so unhappy. And I was so ashamed with how much I felt like I was drowning in my own life when I honestly had everything that I had ever dreamed of having. And it just got to the point where I looked at myself in the mirror one day and I was like, how did I even get here? And more importantly, how am I going to get myself out? Because I felt like I was still living in survival mode. My husband's a potato farmer, so this was the summer and he was extremely busy. So I was really on my own with the kids, trying to balance all the roles of being a nurse, a wife, and a mom. And so anything for myself was completely pushed to the back burner. I was exhausted. I was not playing with my kids. I was taking us through drive-thrus every single day because I told myself I didn't have the energy to cook, and was just like literally just eating scraps off of Lucy's high chair, or like I said, going through the drive-thru. And I was just so defeated. So I joined Beachbody in August of 2015 for a fitness solution. I wanted to lose those last like 10 pounds of baby weight that I was so frustrated with. And I just told myself if I could lose those 10 pounds and everything would be better and I could cancel and just move on with my life. And it wasn't until, so it was like, the next month, because as much as we want results in 2 weeks, like that's not how life happens. And that was why I had failed at everything in the past. But I told myself that I wasn't going to quit this time. I was going to keep going. And thanks to the accountability of having other women like in an accountability group to keep me going, like I kept going and I actually stinking saw results. Like, what are the freaking chances? You stay consistent with something and you follow the recipe and you actually get results. And because I was feeling so good, I just really felt this tug in my heart to start sharing what I was doing, because I had so many people, like friends and family, that were starting to notice. I mean, obviously they noticed that I lost weight, but they were starting to notice that there was something else different about me. And one of my friends, I don't think she's on tonight, but Emma, told me the other day, or she said in a video the other day, she was like, you know how most people, when they smile, like they smile from their mouth? She was like, you were smiling from your eyes again. And it's like, when that light just comes back on inside of you after it's been off, you know? And I was sick to my stomach at the thought of even sharing what I was doing, because I did not tell a soul that I was doing Beachbody except for Levi, because I knew he was going to give me crap about more stuff being in the pantry that I wasn't going to use. But I made that first, like, make you want to puke kind of coming out post, so to speak. And it was honestly, I mean, obviously a lot of hard work has gone in since then, but the feeling that I got from being able to take this thing that had totally changed my life and was making me a happier wife and a more attentive mom, to be able to gift that to somebody else who was struggling like I was, you can't put a feeling on sharing that gift with another person. And when you get that message back from someone thanking you for changing their life, like, you just can't hold it back and you have to keep sharing. And so it's been almost 3.5 years now that I have been coaching and continuing to pay this gift forward and helping mentor other girls in the business. And since then, things have grown. A lot of hard work has gone into it, but I'm now full-time coaching, having surpassed my full-time labor and delivery nurse income, and home with our now 3 babies. We have 3, another little kiddo slipped in there along the way. And I just owe my whole life to, and our future, to Beachbody.
I just love hearing your story. Like, I think I hear it like multiple times a week, and I still like, just makes my heart so happy, because we are so very similar. And you guys will hear as we, take you through some of our trainings and things like that about finding your avatar and talking to, the people who are going through the same things you are. And Logan and I are like each other's avatar. So my name's Haley, and I signed up as a coach in April of 2015. I was 7 weeks postpartum with my second little girl. My girls are 21 months apart. So I was like drowning in like 2 under 2 mom life. And I was still like living off the casseroles that our sweet church ladies were bringing us, with like all the cheese and like potatoes and like all the stuff, you probably shouldn't even be eating when you're nursing, because who knows what the baby's like allergic to. But anyway, I found myself really lost. I have my doctorate in physical therapy, and I was a physical therapist for about 1.5 years before I had my first little girl. And when I went back after maternity leave, I just knew that my heart was still at home anytime I went up to the hospital, and I couldn't go to a job that was not fulfilling me anymore. And so we made the decision. I went back part-time for a little bit, and then I came home, and I would work a couple days a month. I would fill in when people would go on vacations, and like that included holidays and stuff, but I got to be home for the majority of the time. Now I had these 2 girls, and I was exhausted. And I remember like sitting in our living room recliner, and I was like nursing the baby, and my still very much a baby was playing on the floor, and I was just waiting for nap time. Like, I just needed nap time to get there so I could close my eyes, because I was exhausted. And then I thought, what have I even done today? And I hadn't done anything. And very much like Logan, I was married to my high school sweetheart. We were living in my hometown. We had these 2 beautiful kids. We lived in this gorgeous house, and like everything should have felt really good. But deep down, I just knew like I was not happy. So I had to make changes, and I knew that needed to start with like exercising. Health and fitness was always a big part of my life. However, it was never a very good relationship with it, but it was there. But it was not there when I was in this season of my life. So I knew I needed to get back on track. and I needed to stop eating like all this crap, like Sonic, what are they called? Not their milkshakes, whatever they're called, like every night. Probably not something that you should be like eating if you wanted more energy. Like it just sucks the energy out of you. So dusted off my P90X3 copy that had been sitting in the closet since before I had Weston, and got through 2 days of it and quit. And I was really frustrated thinking, I this is impossible. Like, how do I have time for this? This is just it. This is as good as it's going to get. Luckily, I'd been following this girl on social media for a while. I'd watched her go through her pregnancy. She had 2 little girls and was about to have another baby, and she was getting to stay at home. She was getting paid to like work out and eat right. And I was like, this is too good to be true, but I'm going to check it out. So I went through a sneak peek. You guys may have been in ours. And by day 2, I said, okay, I need some accountability. And I think that's what coaching is going to give me. And I need the discount. Can I get that like without being a coach? And she was like, no, you need to just sign up. And so I did for the discount, and quickly decided this was something I wanted to pursue beyond that. Thank you to my husband, who saw the potential in it before I did. And he, said those simple little words of, I think you'd be really good at this. And I love that, because I feel like that's what we get to do as coaches for our customers and our coaches. We get to say, I think you're going to do really great at this, right? We believe in them before they even believe in them. And that's how I got started. And this business has been such an incredible blessing for our family. I've been able to completely step away from my job as a physical therapist to be at home with my kids, which was something I never thought I wanted to do until I had them. We also now have 3 kids. Somehow, whenever you start feeling good about yourself and like, things happen sometimes, but it's just been such an incredible blessing, physically, emotionally, financially. And now one of my biggest passions is to make sure I'm paying this forward, because this is something that you guys will all be very successful with when you take that leap with us. I know all the progos on our team right now. So one question I know comes about is, okay, I love all the stories. I love how people like love the community, and it's like the ultimate accountability, and you do these workouts, but like, what do you really do? Like what does a coach do? I don't understand. So Logan, do you want to talk about like what we get to do as coaches?
Yes. So I want to start this off by saying coaching does take work. This isn't something where you can sign up as a coach and start, doing your home workout program and occasionally kind of sort of subtly slip in that like maybe you're doing this workout thing and like people are going to flock to you, because it just doesn't happen that way. We all wish it did, but it does take hard work and consistency and showing up when you don't always feel like it. But you can build an incredibly successful business starting out in 1 to 2 hours a day. And, as your business grows, Haley and I spend more time typically on that per day now because our businesses are bigger. But it really is like the amount that you earn and the amount of lives you change is just a direct reflection of the amount of time that you're spending in sharing what you're doing and connecting with people. So there is a process, basically like a checklist of things that you can do every single day to move your business forward. And what Beachbody has kind of determined to be the kind of like cornerstone of what coaches do is called the 4 vital behaviors. Vital meaning you got to do it in order to really be successful. So the first vital behavior is be a product of the product. So that means, number 1, showing up for you, pressing play on your workouts, drinking your Shakeology, following your meal plan, all as if your job depends on it, because guess what? It does. Talk about accountability. Like, when I realized that my paycheck actually depends on my commitment to a program and seeing things through and following the nutrition plan, it made it stick a little bit more, especially when I knew that other people on social media were watching me. Extra accountability. So, and I don't know what kind of jobs you guys have, if you guys have jobs like outside of the home or whatever, but for me, this was really hard to get used to as a nurse or as someone who's like trained in the medical community, because I've always been trained everybody else gets taken care of. You know, your patients are rounded on, the doctors are happy, you know, everything is checked on before you get to take a break, before you get to use the restroom, before you get to eat. Everybody comes first, and then you can take care of your essential stuff, like maybe if there's not an emergency, or maybe you have to just hold it for 12 hours and suffer. And then, you know, being a mom, like, it's kind of the same thing, you know, like, it's so easy to fall into that trap of throwing ourselves completely into taking care of our kids and realizing that it's like the end of the day and you're like, oh, I didn't even get a shower again today, or let alone like do a workout. So learning that one of the most important parts of coaching was taking care of me first was kind of hard to wrap my brain around, but it was the thing that I needed to realize that I am a priority too. And when I take the time to fill my cup and take care of myself, everybody else is happier. You know, happy wife, happy life. That is like 100% true. So number one, vital behavior, be a product of the product, take care of you, and just be a walking, talking billboard for how effective our products and programs are when you follow them correctly. The second vital behavior is, they just changed it, so I just want to get the wording right. Connect, invite, follow up. So I'm actually going to share my screen really quick so I can show you guys this awesome tracker that the company has just put out. This is called the Success Club System Daily Business Activity Tracker. And this is something that we are going to be very, very focused on with our team this year. Everybody's going to, so the tracker starts on a Thursday because Beachbody weeks start on a Thursday and end on Wednesday. So our team this year is going to be following this tracker like clockwork, and we are all going to be like submitting them to each other just for accountability. But number one, you can see right here, be proof the products work, and you're just going to check off every day that you do your workout and you drink your shake. Then you're going to come down to connect, invite, follow up. You can, you know, we can adjust like how much time you spend on each one, but these are kind of like the suggested amounts of times that they've determined for, you know, coaches who are really moving their business forward. So initiate connections and add followers. This is done, you know, on like Facebook or Instagram. Do not stress if social media is not a strong suit for you, because that is something that we teach you once you are on the team. I was not like a very active person on social media. I mean, I creeped on everybody else, of course, and I would like occasionally post like a cute picture of my kids or anything, but I was not somebody who posted like every day or ever posted things that were like vulnerable or things that, you know, made me nervous to share. So if you're sitting on the other end of this thinking like, I don't know anything about social media, I don't know how to grow my following, I don't know how to do pretty pictures, that's okay. We teach you all of that. You do not have to come in having any sort of big following or anything like that. We just ask that you be coachable and excited to learn. So in this section, you're going to start conversations and add followers. You're going to do a social media post that shares the benefits of your healthy lifestyle. Facebook and Instagram stories are fantastic. They're a little nerve-wracking to get started with if you're not used to using them, but they are so amazing because they basically give like a little reality TV glimpse into your real life and who you are, you know, outside of the pretty pictures. So, you know, all the like funny, crazy stuff that my kids do, the shenanigans that Lily gets into with toilet paper every day, and the fact that like this is where I show that I'm really a hot mess, and how I'm still managing to hold this all together. And it just helps people feel more connected to you because they feel like they know you on a little bit deeper level than just the more pretty pictures that you put on your Instagram or something like that. Then you're going to spend some time responding to people who are interacting on your posts. You're going to spend time inviting. And this is the part that trips a lot of people up. But if you are not actively reaching out your hand and inviting other people to join you, it's going to be really, 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 really hard to get any sort of traction or momentum in your business. So, we do a lot of things to kind of help you feel more comfortable. We share, like wording, I invite examples. I don't really like to say like scripts, but sometimes just getting tripped up on how to word things is confusing. And so we help people with that. We help you kind of make a list of like, who are the important people in your life that you want doing this with you, that you want being healthy. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I want my mom and dad to be healthy. And like, I want my sisters-in-law to feel good and my best friends and all of that. And it's just more fun when you bring along those people who are close to you. And then it's really fun when you start expanding and meeting strangers and realizing that they're just like you and you have a best friend that lives across the country all of a sudden. And then the last part you're going to do is just follow up with people that you've invited, because a lot of the time people aren't ready right away when they're invited the very first time. They can say it can take anywhere between like 5 to 7 to 10 follow-ups before someone's finally ready. And I know for me personally, I know a lot of the times when I very first kind of start talking health and fitness with someone, they have to watch me for another 3 to 6 months typically before they're ready to actually dive in, because they're watching to see if I'm showing up consistently and doing all these things like building trust. So that's the part where you're going to spend inviting and connecting and following up with your network. The third is going to be getting people results. So this is when you have people that are ready to join you. We're going to get them plugged into our challenge group. We're going to get them the tools in their hands that, the exact same thing that you are doing right now, probably the same program, but we're going to get the tools in their hands and start getting them results and getting them feeling amazing. And we're going to shout them out. We're going to love on them. And hopefully they're going to start feeling so amazing that they're going to be excited to start sharing with their friends and family. And then the last vital behavior that can honestly be the most easily skipped is doing personal development. And to be honest, when I first started coaching, this was the one that I skipped for probably the first 6 months because I didn't feel like I needed it. I mean, I knew that I, wasn't happy before I started Beachbody and everything. And I was like, I'm not in a place where I need like self-help books or anything like that. Like I'm too good. I'm too good for that. But you guys, it's one of those things that you just don't even really realize how bad you need until you start doing it. And one of the first books that we really recommend for new coaches is called The Compound Effect. The Slight Edge is another great one that's very similar in style. I also super duper love Girl Wash Your Face by Rachel Hollis. But what our fitness and nutrition programs do, like for your body, is basically what personal development does for your mindset. And it is so important to be working on your mindset and, building up your belief and, all of that in order to really have the full successful package, because you can't really do one without the other. You don't see uber successful coaches who don't do personal development. A lot of the times the coaches that you see, that have had a lot of success are personal development freaks. And if you're not someone who likes to read, there are so many options in like podcasts, or I download books on Audible all the time so that I can listen to them like while I'm getting ready or when we're driving to pick the kids up from school or anything like that. But making sure that you're getting in at least 10 to 15 minutes of personal development a day, I promise will make a huge, huge, huge difference in your mindset and just your longevity as a coach, and being able to kind of like work through the times that are kind of sticky so that you can get to the really good stuff. And then the back of this tracker just has kind of like a list so that you can keep track of people you're talking to. So I'm going to, oops, I don't need a new share. I need to stop share. So, stop share. There we go. So, following that tracker is going to be one of the like first things that you're going to start doing right out the gate. Like even if you sign up as a new coach and you're like, okay, what do I do now that I'm a coach? We're going to get you that tracker, and you're just going to kind of start checking off your boxes every day. And all the little activities that you're going to do every day, just like the compound effect says, are going to build up over time. So right away, it's not going to feel like there's any big difference, but I promise it's doing the small, daily, consistent activities every single day that's going to give your business the momentum that it needs. And if you are someone who is wanting things to move along a little quicker, you're wanting to make a little bit more money, then we are just going to up the numbers of the people that you're inviting. You know, you're going to shoot for helping 5 people a month instead of 3. Or, you know, you're going to be sending 20 invites a day instead of 10 or something like that. So if you want to increase your success quicker, it's just a matter of talking to more people. Now, Haley is going to dive into the income, right? Since I kind of segued us into that.
Yeah. So a lot of questions, you know, then come about like, right, but how do I make money on this? Because I am somebody who's very driven by making an income with this. You know, I went from having a very stable career that was going to bring in a certain amount of income for our family to being at home with my kids that, yes, I absolutely love the health and fitness aspect of this. I love the community of my team. There are so many perks of being a coach, but I wanted to bring in an income with this business so that I did not have to go back to a job that drained me. I would rather, I think it may be cut out. Am I still here? Okay. I would, you know, rather put my time and my effort into this to get results financially that would keep me home doing something that totally serves my family and gives me a purpose outside of being a mom, and that I can do on my time and on my schedule. And so having financial goals as a coach is great. Like if you are coming into this and you're like, oh, like I love like the team and I love, like I want some new friends, but I really want to make some money. Okay, listen up. Here's what we're going to do. First off, I do want you to know this is not a get rich quick type of deal. All right. This takes time. This takes effort. This takes work. But I promise when you put those 3 things in, the rewards that you are going to reap are above and beyond anything you can even possibly think of right now. I promise. So there are a couple ways that you are going to see income coming in right away as a new coach. The first way you're going to see income is we bring in 25% commission off of anything we get people set up with. Okay. So, whether it is our full package that includes the fitness programs and the new, you know, Shakeology or the performance line, the whole shebang, or they just want to try like our Go Juice that we use every day, whatever it is, we earn 25% commission off of that. Okay, so that's going to be the first thing you're going to see start coming in whenever you're getting your friends, your family involved with this. The second way you will start seeing income come into your bank account is through what's called a team cycle bonus. And essentially what this is once you start having a team below you, right? So the very first time you can qualify for it is when you have your first 2 coaches. Okay, that means you're an Emerald coach. You qualify for this bonus. Beachbody says, hey, we are so excited that you are bringing new people into this opportunity with you. We're going to give you a bonus for doing that. And every time they are purchasing things, or maybe they are introducing this to new people, which creates what's called volume in your organization, you get a bonus every time there's a cycle of 300 volume. And I'm not going to go into a ton of details because you don't necessarily need to know that right now. We'll get into that later. But just know, as you start growing your team, and as your team starts bringing in people as well, this bonus it goes from something that you were like, oh my gosh, where is this going to go? Because as an Emerald coach, you get a $14 bonus for every 300 volume points between your legs. As a Ruby coach, which is the next promotion you can get within your business, you get $16. And as a diamond, all the way up to what we call as a superstar diamond, which is a 15-star diamond coach, you get an $18 bonus for every cycle you go through. And I remember the first time, I got my check in and I was like, yes, $14. And then the next week I didn't get one. And then the next week, maybe I got another $14 one. It is one that takes time, but here I am over 3.5 years later. And this bonus is at least 80% of my income every single week. If you guys didn't know, as a coach, we get a paycheck every single week, which is really, really nice. We're not having to wait till like the end of the month. But this bonus just means like, great job. You're bringing people into this opportunity and your team is growing and it is thriving. The third way, there are more than 3, but the third way you will see income starting to come in is when you're building your team and they are duplicating what you are doing. So anytime you have a personally sponsored coach bringing in a team cycle bonus, if you are a Ruby or a Diamond coach, you get a bonus off of that. That's another way Beachbody's just like, hey girl, like look at you mentoring your coaches and now they're making some money too. Here's a little percentage of what they're bringing in. So that's a really, really just great standard to look at and see that, hey, my team is growing and now my girls are growing their own team. Outside of that, we get quarterly bonuses at 2-star, 5-star, 10-star, and 15-star. And what that means whenever we say like star diamond ranks, it means that you have a diamond personally sponsored coach. And let me just tell you, so when you start out as a coach, we're going to get you to Emerald as fast as we can, because that means you're opening your doors for business, means you got your first 2 coaches, which will be like the people you love the most. And we'll talk more about that later. But then we're going to get you right to Diamond to build that foundation, give you that confidence to keep growing, to keep building. But the sweet sass is when you get into those star diamond ranks, the 2-star diamond, like that is where we want you guys to be. So, and the earning potential just increases from there. Like literally that's just like the top of the iceberg. But here's the thing, you guys, just like Logan was talking about, the amount of work that you put in is going to be directly reflected in the paycheck that you get. So if you come into this and you want this to be a hobby, then you're going to get a hobby income, and that's so great. And we're going to completely support you in that. If you come into this wanting this to be like a part-time supplemental income and you're putting in the time and the effort and the work for that, then your income is going to reflect that. And if you come into this wanting to maybe step away from a job that no longer serves you, or that just drains you, or maybe you're wanting to bring your husband home, or maybe you just want to do something really big on the side of something you already love, if you are putting the time and effort and the heart and the hustle into that, your income is going to reflect that. Now, I'm an all-in coach. You'll hear us talk about that all the time. But we always say all in does not mean, and it should not mean all the time. If you sit down and are intentional with your time, you're intentional with doing those things that Logan just showed us on the tracker, spending the time, inviting people, growing your team, spending time in your challenge groups. If you are intentional, you can build a solid business, you guys, in an hour a day. Will it take more than that to replace your full-time income? Sure, it's going to take more than that. I'm going to be honest with you guys. But if you can be intentional with even just an hour a day, you guys will be completely blessed by this financial opportunity. And if you want it to be more than that, then heck, put in more time. So when I started, like I said, I was a mom of two, 21 months apart, like just drowning in diapers and baby spit up and like Cheerios and all the kind of good stuff. My time was literally in the mom cracks of my day, between nursing and nap times and, lunch times and trying to spend time with my mobile toddler. I would squeeze in some invites here. I would squeeze in some time in my challenge group here. Now, I did intentionally wake up 30 minutes earlier to get my workout in before the rest of my family got up. And I made that choice because I knew that was really important for my business. I intentionally spent time reading personal development while my toddler was eating lunch. I intentionally spent time making sure I was sharing my journey on social media. But it was little snippets of my day. And I'll tell you guys, I've never had to pay for my products. I always earned enough income to pay for those. Like even the very first month, I was only a coach for 2 weeks and was able to get my investment back that I put in to start this business. And by month 5, I was bringing in, I should have looked at the numbers more specifically, but $3,000 a month. And that went from the mom cracks of my day to now, in August, my toddler went to school 2 days a week. And so I had more time on Tuesdays and Thursdays when Weston was napping. I had to not binge watch, what was I into then? I don't even remember. It's been so long, but I have prioritized this business. And now 4 years later, I probably put in at least 4 hours a day into my business, if I'm being honest. Now, some of it is still broken up I say some of it is still absolutely broken up because I've got 3 kiddos now. But I still wake up early to get my workout in, to squeeze in some personal development while I'm getting ready, which typically is like washing my face and maybe putting on some mascara or in the car. I spend time during nap time. I'm still I don't even know what the cool shows are on TV anymore because I would rather build a legacy that creates something that's going to be incredible for our family. Like that's way more important to me than, whoever gets the rose. Although I did start watching The Bachelor with my sister. That's my one vice right now, but it's sister time, right? But I tell you this because now I have surpassed my full-time income as a physical therapist. Last year I brought in $78,000. And, I will, put in the disclaimer that Beachbody says we cannot guarantee an income. You have to put in the work. Each coach, whatever it is. But if you put in the work, you put in the time, you will see financial return on this. And we will show you how. But you have to let us know what your goals are, because we will match you. All right. We're not going to push you to replace your full-time income if you're literally wanting to cover your Shakeology. But if you do have big goals with us, you got to let us know so we can show you how to do it. But I want you to start thinking right now, what can like your first $300 that you earn with this business do for you? For me, that was covering diapers for 2, making it through the Target line with like not having that guilt of, oh, what is Brock gonna say when he sees that, and getting to take him on a date night. And that was huge for us. You know, as a one income family, like $300 was huge. What is that first $300 going to do for you? What could it do for your best friend that's going to come on and do this with you? What could it do for your sister, your sister-in-law? You guys, this opportunity is something that you have to share with everybody. So those are the first ways you're going to see income coming in. That is kind of where my hours were, my income was, and how it has progressed from there. And I hope you guys are already starting to envision how much time you're going to spend and what this opportunity is going to give to you financially. So now you're probably like, okay, interested. What do I do next? Like, what are my next steps? How do I get started? Like, I know it's going to be a ton to like start my business. Wrong. Logan's going to talk to you about what you're going to do next.
Okay. So starting up your coaching business is basically your investment in your own health and fitness materials. I don't know about you guys, but basically starting your own like brick and mortar shop, or, you know, whatever it is that you want to start that's your own business, even like the LuLaRoe girls, like so many people have to invest in so much inventory and things that they have to keep on hand and have a very, very steep, like overhead in order to start. And what is so cool about getting started with your coaching business with Beachbody is honestly just investing in your challenge pack that is going to help you get your own like physical, mental, emotional transformation. So it really you just need to talk to your coach about what the best package is going to be for you based on your goals and what program you want to do. Whether you're going to get started with Shakeology or with our Recover post-workout muscle recovery drink, and I call it my mom crack, but it's Energize, the pre-workout that we're all like obsessed with. I recommend doing both because like you want to be like a walking, talking product of the product. So go for the deluxe, get both of them because you're going to need them when you're in your workouts anyways. And if you're sitting on the other line and you're like, okay, but I already got my challenge pack and I already have all my stuff. So like, now how do I become a coach? So the really awesome part about Beachbody is, so there is a $39.95 coach startup fee to open up your coaching business. If you sign up as a coach with your challenge pack, that $39.95 is waived and you don't have to pay that. If you have purchased a challenge pack in the past and now you are ready to sign up as a coach, you will pay the $39.95, but because we love our clients and our customers so much, we don't want you to have to be out that money. So there is a reimbursement form that you can fill out to get that $40 refunded back to you, so it's not out of your pocket. After that, there is going to be a monthly $15.95 business service fee. I like to think of this as basically like your Costco membership or your Amazon Prime membership. I know I don't bat an eye at my Amazon Prime membership because I need me some 2-day shipping. So the thing that's all wrapped up in your $15.95 business service fee is basically all the stuff that you do not want to handle as a business owner. So Beachbody handles all of our websites and keeps them all up to date for us. Your coach office is constantly updated with like your customer and your coach list, like basically everything you need to know, all the tools you need for building your groups, for running challenge groups, any sort of training that you could possibly need on Beachbody is all uploaded in this online office for you. It also covers shipping and handling because, like I said, we do not have to keep inventory on hand to send out to our clients. It handles customer service. Praise the Lord. We do not have to handle customer service. And it also entails coach relations. So as a coach, you actually get to call a different line when you have, any sort of issues or questions about things. You get to call coach relations, which is more of like a VIP line versus just customer service. Let me see. It also covers, like R&D, like research and development for all of the new innovative products and programs that Beachbody is constantly turning out. The pipeline is so full for all of the products and programs that are getting to release in 2019. We've already released, Transform 20, which is our incredible 20-minute workout program that Haley and I got to be in the test group for. Our girls are already getting like incredible results in just 20 minutes a day. It's so exciting to watch. We're going to be releasing Fruit Punch Energize next month, and just a lot of fun things coming down the pipeline for the year. And then, the business service fee also covers like your team's payroll. Like I don't have to cut paychecks for my team every single week or anything like that. All of that is lumped into that little, less than $16 a month fee. And I will gladly pay that to not have to bat an eye at like any of those things. Because that kind of stuff just like majorly stresses me out. And then of course, as a coach, you also save 25% on everything that you order. So, every month when you get your Shakeology or your performance line, or if you love our yummy like snack bars or beach bars, everything you purchase, you save 25% on. So even with that monthly like coach fee in there, just the savings on your Shakeology alone, like being a coach is going to save you like almost $20 a month. Even if you like don't work the business. But if you are active duty military or the spouse of someone who's active duty, a reservist or veterans, like actual veterans, not veterans spouses, I believe, you all get the $16 per month coach fee completely waived, and the $40 sign up fee is completely waived because we love our military and thank you for your service. So those are kind of like the nitty gritties on how to sign up, because like your challenge pack is going to give you your Netflix of workouts. If you're not already signed up with your like Beachbody On Demand and stuff, you are going to get your Netflix of workout programs. It's going to have every program basically ever created by Beachbody like at your fingertips, and you have that subscription for a full year before it renews. I recommend signing up with Transform 20 because it's the brand new program that just released, and it won't be officially loaded into the Beachbody On Demand library until April. So if you sign up with it now, you get like a VIP access for it. And yes, there's still time to get in. Sean T, the trainer creator of the program, he is running an exclusive test group just for coaches. You have to be a coach in order to be in this group, and you have to purchase the Transform 20. And it's only good for the next like couple days, right through the end of January, to be in his group and just get surrounded by him and get his like daily motivation every day. It's incredible. So you're going to get your Netflix of workouts. You're going to get either your first 30-day supply of Shakeology or your Recover and Energize, or like I said, go big or go home and get the deluxe. And so basically your investment is your investment in your own health and fitness, which is super crazy cool. And I want to piggyback on something that Haley talked about in her last segment really quick, just to share like a little vulnerably about kind of a shift that I went through in my business around the like 6 month to a year mark, because I was like doing these activities. Like Haley said, I was working a lot in the mom cracks because, again, I had a 2-year-old and a baby. And sometimes this like doubt will creep in, and you can start to feel guilty for spending time on your business. And this was something that I had to grapple with a little bit. And it's that like dreaded mom guilt. Like you get it no matter what. You get it if you go out for a glass of wine with your girlfriends, or if you're, doing something meaningful for your family. Like there's always going to be the mom guilt. It's always going to be there. And for me, I had to take a really like long, hard look at how the time I was spending on my business was benefiting my family, and get really real with myself. Like, is this helping our family? Are we like, is it really making a difference? Is the time that I'm spending intentional, or am I wasting my time when I should be like making memories with my kids? And what it came down to, you guys, is the benefits of putting time into this business exponentially changed my family's future. And I will never take back a single minute that I spent working this business the last 3 years. Because if I had not invested like my time and energy into building this, I would, very likely still be, I would still be working at the hospital. I probably would have had to work on Christmas. As a nurse, like even when I was per diem, we had to pick up weekend shifts, because like your time is not your own. Like you work when they tell you to work. And like back then when my kids were babies, like it wasn't as big of a deal to work kind of a random weekend when Levi was going to be home or something. But now 3 years later, like it just hit me the other day. First of all, being able to be home full time after Lily was born and not have to go back to maternity leave. I had to do the maternity leave thing with both of the other kids. And if you haven't personally been through it, like leaving your baby for the first time to go back to work, like leaving them in the care of somebody else, even if it's like your most trusted family member or your husband, like it rips your freaking heart out. And to not have to do that with her, like I can't even put into words like the experience of being able to be home for her full year. And what hit me just the other day was that, if I was still working at the hospital, even if I was part-time, I'd still have to work every other weekend. And Lucy is a kindergartner now, you guys. She was 2 when I started this, and she's in kindergarten. And that means I would get 2 weekends a month with her. I would leave to go to work in the morning before she was awake. I'd get home, if nothing crazy happened, by 7:30. They go to bed at 8. I'd get 30 minutes with her. And this is like in the time where I'm having to decompress from whatever stressful shit happened during my day. 30 minutes. And then I'd be gone the next day, and I would get 2 weekends a month with her. Because now that she's in kindergarten and she's in school full day, like the weekends are the time that we really have together, And I could not imagine if I had not invested that time the last 3 years. And this was not even like a vision that I had. Like in 3 years, Lucy's going to be in kindergarten. And what about the weekends? Like that was not even like a thought in my head. And it just hit me the other day that if it were not for coaching, like I would hardly get to see her. And that like is mom guilt. So now, because of this business, like I obviously get to be with her every weekend. I get to pick her up from school every day. I get to volunteer in her classroom. Like whenever we want to, I get to be at her parties and her field trips. And like that time is not something that I'm ever going to get back again. And so the sacrifices that I made, the last 3 years, I'm like 3 episodes behind on The Bachelor right now, because why do they have to be like 3 hours long? Like, I don't have the time for it. I don't know what shows are like super cool on Netflix. Levi and I like maybe get into a show like, once every so often, but there were things that when I really looked at how I was spending my time, there were things that I could sacrifice, and I needed to decide what those things were that were not essential and were not going to like get us to the next level for our family, like in the future. And you know what? You cut them out and you really don't miss them. It's really not that big of a deal. And the experiences and everything that we get to do now because of the sacrifices that I made then are so worth it. I don't remember if I was supposed to cover anything else or if this is when you're supposed to.
You were so good. And yes, like could not agree more. Just the benefits and just the blessings that come from the time that you put into this business. And sacrificing, like, no, don't sacrifice time with your kids. Like, this is giving us time with our kids. Okay, so your investment is getting you set up with your workout, with your Shakeology, adding on that Mom Crack and Recover, whatever it is, if you are not already set up with that. So the next steps you need to take after we get off this call, if you're ready to go, you need to message your coach and let them know you're ready. They will get you set up with exactly what you need. And then we will get you introduced into the team page. That is where like all this, all the announcements come in. We'll shout out people. We talk about trainings. We ask questions. That's where like everything is going to be that you need. You will also be invited to your very first call, which is going to be happening a Sunday night. We are going to do a call that focuses on getting your first 3 people for the month of February. And what that is called is Hitting Success Club. We'll go into that later, but that is always our goal, is getting at least 3 people every single month. And we're going to have that first call Sunday night, and you will be invited to it. And then every Tuesday night, we've got team calls that involve training, motivation. Sometimes we have guest speakers. Sometimes it's something like this that you can invite your friends to so that they can do it with you. But right now, tonight, your first step, obviously, message your coach, tell them you're ready. But I also want you to think about those people that you want to do this with you, because we have really, really big goals and plans and visions for this team, and you get to be a part of that, but you can't do it by yourself. You got to bring your people in with you. All right. So tonight, start thinking about who you want to do this with you. Your coach is going to get you set up with exactly what you need. We're going to welcome you to the team, and then we'll see you guys on Sunday to talk about your first goals as a coach and getting those new people signed up and ready to go. And if you are ready to get them signed up before Sunday, by all means, do not wait. Ask your coach how to do it. It's really simple to get people set up and going. So we're so thankful that you hung out with us tonight. Learn more about the coaching opportunity and being a part of On Fire Empire. This is our baby. This is our passion, and we just love sharing it with you guys. And we are so excited to welcome you to the team and to have you do this with us. So thanks so much for hanging out, and we will see you soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye, y'all.